made a video sometime back wherein I say that visit visa reconsideration, student visa reconsiderations, those type of reconsiderations, they do not really work. But even today, I see people coming to me for consultations where they are genuinely want to apply for a reconsideration, knowing fully well that that even may not work. So consider this video as a subsequent part of the previous video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the reasons as to why I think putting a reconsideration request is a futile exercise. I am Niladri Mukherjee. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Whatever visas you talk about, okay, let's say study visa, let's say visit visas. If you have a visa refusal decision, go to the second page of the refusal letter and see what the government of Canada is telling you to do, is asking you to do. It is asking that, well, if you are able to prove that your next application will have substantially different pieces of information than your previous application, only then go for a reapplication, quote unquote, reapplication. The second line says that you have to pay the government of Canada fees for the government of Canada to process your reapplication. In other words, you have to pay them money to take a look at your application. This is the crux. For a reconsideration, what you're saying is that, well, my file got refused. I made a perfect application, solid application. I think there is an error in the decision-making process, and hence I kindly request you to take a look at the file. But you're not paying any money to the government of Canada to take a relook at the file, which is exactly why those type of reconsideration requests are not being taken on priority. And that is also one of the reasons why reconsiderations fundamentally do not work, because that's not a defined process in the books of IRCC. And also, you are not paying any money, any additional money to IRCC to take a relook into your file. From their perspective, from IRCC's perspective, they have obviously done their job to the best of their knowledge, to the best of their decision making abilities. They have come out with a decision. As an immigration consultant, after working on how many refusal applications, I could tell you this: 98% of the times IRCC's decisions make sense. Apparently, you may feel like there must be some mistake at their end. I have provided this, I have provided that. When people come to me for consultations, when we start reworking on their applications, 9 out of 10 times I see there were some error in that previous application, which is why the files gets refused. So have trust on IRCC's decision making ability and simply follow what the government of Canada is saying, which is to reapply. If you are to make the application all over again, there is no space of reconsideration. That's one of the fundamental reasons why I strongly am not in favor of going for a reconsideration of an application, unless it's a very different situation. Now, there have been situations quite literally wherein we have worked on reconsideration request with success, but that's just a very, very, very small, tiny pieces of the cases. There have also been cases wherein I have personally worked on reconsideration cases where we have been able to reverse a ban just through the help of reconsideration request. But that's again a very different circumstances. Those are not like visit visa reconsiderations or study visa reconsiderations. Another very important aspect that you have to keep in mind is that human beings are making those decisions. Those decisions are not being made by any artificial intelligence. I see this is a very common confusion that might have, Shinnok made the decision, AI made the decision. No, they are not the decision making authority. They screened the file, filtered the file, but they are not the decision making authority. Once you take a look at the GCMS notes, you will see that the file has been processed with the help of Shinnok. But Shinnok is not making an acceptance or a rejection decision till date, at least, right? It's not happening. Another very important aspect that I would like to highlight is that, because again you are not paying any new fees to IRCC for them to take a relook at that application, your reconsideration applications is never a priority for IRCC. Visit visa applications, for example, from India, even after all the staff reduction or whatever is coming within a month's time, give or take, right? Reconsiderations do not come in like 3-4 months time, because obviously that's not a priority for IRCC. They can take their own sweet time to pass on the file to that officer, and if the officer is willing to take a look, he or she will take a look, but you know the decision that you're going to get anyways. So this is not a priority for them regardless. Once you make a reconsideration application, There is no point in applying for a reapplication if the reconsideration takes more time, because whatever steps you are taking to that application, it's been recorded in the GCMS notes. What I do not want you to take multiple attempt after attempt, and then recording everything back in the GCMS. That does not make much sense. That does not talk about consistency in my books. That really does not make much sense. So if you have had a application refusal due to whatever reason, you can be happy, you can be unhappy. It's unfortunately really does not matter as long as IRCC's decision comes in. It may be a good time for you to introspect, apply for notes if you have the time, and then make a proper assessment as to the next steps. What I do not want to at least majority of the people is to just blindly going for a reconsideration with the gut feeling that, well, whatever I have done is correct and that IRCC is incorrect. Yeah, sure, IRCC makes mistake, but my practice tells me that 99% of the times they do not make mistakes. So on the balance of probability, I will be still saying that IRCC's decision making, I have complete trust on IRCC's decision making abilities as an immigration consultant. And because we work on so many reapplication, in fact, as a practice, we work on 99% of the visit visa or study visa cases that we work on are the reapplications only, because people come to me at least when they have had like multiple refusals. So I know how it works. If you need our help with the assessment of the file, because that's the first step anyways, come for a consultation. You can now book a 30 minutes consultation quite easily through the website. Book a relevant consultation, share your documents. I'll be more than happy to have a case specific discussion with you, and we can go from there. Hope this helps you guys. Bye now. Cheers.